This world is constantly changing and evolving, now more than ever. It used to be in a person's lifetime that they wouldn't see a whole lot of appreciable change, just a little bit. But with the advent of technology, the world is constantly changing, constantly moving. And you have to stay on top of it if you want to evolve, if you want to survive, if you want to succeed. That's what I'm here to talk to you about. My name is Jakob Hunt, and this is Unbreakable Change. From the last 2 years, after working 19 years in call centers and sales and all that sort of stuff, I went from working those types of jobs to trainer to now a technical consultant. That's a role I'm studying at right now. It's one of the changes in my life that I've been talking about, the fact that I'm having to train on and learn so much new stuff, new systems, everything else. So I've got that going on while I'm doing the moving, right? And then I've also got the car situation that I just dealt with, where I was car shopping because my other car was a death trap waiting to explode, basically. And all that together, the moving is always stressful. The new stuff in the job, and working on this, working to launch this motivational speaking career off the ground. It's huge for me. It's my driving passion in life right now. And I feel like it's something I really need to do. I need to be able to share my story with people and really help a lot of people that, I would have loved to have had this information when I was younger. Something I think of a lot. When I was 19, that was the closest I ever came to committing suicide. And I thought I had lost everything. I thought I had lost my friends, my girlfriend, my job. I had nothing really going for me. I was, a ninth grade dropout who just gotten his GED. It was really tough. And I remember after this gigantic blow up where I lost so many things, and I was sitting in a car with a knife against this wrist right here, and I was just thinking with it like that. I was just thinking, should I do this? Should I just end it? What's left for me? And I thought I had, just recently after the success I've obtained, is I wanted to go back in time, 20 years now. I'm 39 now. So 20 years ago, to that 19-year-old, and I wanted to tell him, hey, it's going to be okay, man. You're going through a lot right now, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. You're going to go through some really hard things in your life. But in the end, it's all going to be worth it. That's what I want to be able to give to that 19-year-old self of mine. I want to make everything that he had to go through worth it. That's how she ended up getting adopted right there.
Yeah?
Because I was scratching her chin and she was
Where'd you
just like,
find her?
at a PetSmart.
Oh, nice.
Jimmy was born into bad circumstances as a stray cat. I found him on campus at UTD when he was just a baby kitten, maybe a few weeks old. And he'd been abandoned by his mother. Smelled like he got sprayed by a skunk too. Boy, Jimmy, Kauai, treats. Come on, Jimmy. Come. You get some as well. Oh, my kitties. In the last couple of months here, and really in the last 2 years, there has been so much that has changed for me. Positive change. But even positive change can be scary, right? Because change is, the end result of change is unknown. We don't know what's going to happen. That's what causes that fear you have. Because we like predictability. We like to be able to know what's going to happen in the future. When things are changing, we lose that. And so it triggers a fear response, right? So I had, all this stuff going on right now. I've got moving into a house with my girlfriend, and that's incredibly stressful. I'm throwing out so much of my stuff that I've been carrying around with me, and so I'm throwing away, anchors of the past in a very literal sense. This is definitely one thing I'm not going to get rid of. We have very few family pictures. All the family albums and stuff were lost long ago. And so this is just some of the baby pictures I have. That's my brother right there. There's me. And I don't remember who that is. It might be Norman. And there's my dad and my brother and I. And you can just see, this is some of the very little family memorabilia I have from back in the day. So I need to reframe it for sure, but it's definitely going with me. It's very hard for me to get rid of my stuff because I have so little of it, with all the bouncing around I did. Lost a lot of my trophies that I had earned during that whole time frame when I wasn't home. My sword collection gone. Just all my stuff I had been building up through my childhood and through my life. My Millennium Falcon, die-cast, model and all that sort of stuff is all gone. And I was trying to hold on to it by just, hoarding the things that I was getting now, and the very few things that I had from back then, even if they really didn't have any value, I was still holding on to them just because they're from back then. There's something from my childhood, But in the end, it's just stuff. It's just things, and most of it I don't need. So I'm getting rid of it and casting off those anchors, so I can continue to go forward into the future. The Crystal Skull. Got this working part-time at Spirit in the mask department. And let me tell you, the people that shop at Spirit have absolutely no respect for the people that work there because they just leave everything everywhere. And you're especially if you're working in the wigs and stuff, you're trying to figure out which wig goes into which bag because they've left it all over the floor. It's a nightmare. So I got this when I was working there. It's a skull plasma globe. Doesn't really work anymore, unfortunately, but I always like the look of it. But I'm keeping around broken junk just because I kind of like it, sort of, kind of. So yeah, it just needs to go away. So out it goes. Let's see what else I got here. Oh yeah, keeping that. And I am keeping this Yahtzee Box. So the thing about this Yahtzee Box right here is this is actually the Yahtzee game I used to play with my grandma. We used to play this a whole lot. And we've actually still got some of our old scorecards in here. So definitely don't want to lose those. So it's important to have certain, anchors that keep you grounded to where you come from. But at the same time, you want to make it pretty portable. Maybe something you can put into a scrapbook or something. When it gets into, objects of substance, or you're getting into, I'm saving this magazine because it had an article on my favorite game or whatever. That's not legit. Well, let's be honest here. That's when you start getting into hoarding territory. And I started to go that way before I caught myself. So it can happen to anybody, If I'm going to change, I'm going to go all in, and everything is going to change. So I'm not taking a whole ton of my stuff into this, just, the basics of what I have and what I need and all that. This shirt right here. Got this Thomson Reuters, and look at that. Woo! Let's try on the old clothing here, right? I made the decision to finally lose weight, which was a symptom of my mental depression. And I lost 210 pounds. I used to be 390 pounds. Got down to 180. I'm maintaining about 190 right now. Hopefully can get back down to 180, but I'm pretty happy where I am right now. But you can definitely see the marks of that. You can see the skin that hangs down there. I've got, skin all throughout. And, it is what it is. This is what, a 4X? Yeah, something like that. I was up at around 3-4X at one point. So all this stuff, it's a relic of my old life, and I've been keeping it around, just in case I, gain the weight back, but I'm not going to gain the weight back, not anymore. So I'm just going to chuck them out. Done. Change is coming. Change is here already, really. And it's going to continue to be here throughout. And it's all a matter of what we do with it. How we handle that change, how we embrace that change, how we, if we go for it, if we run from it. All these things come together. And it really changes the basis of everything we're doing here, everything we're talking about. All the subjects that we're going to be talking about, it all comes back to change, because these are things you're going to have to learn. These are new concepts you're going to have to do, and you're going to struggle sometimes, and that's okay. We've all been there. We have this new thing that we got to learn. Like, let's say, we're on this level right here, and then we take on this new task or this new change. And at first we're excited, right? Because the change is exciting in some aspects. But then we get into the real meat of it, and we're feeling like overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I'm trying to learn all this stuff, and I've got all this stuff going on in my life. It's overwhelming, but calm down. You'll get there. Just keep working at it. Do not give up. And as you work more on it, you'll see that everything starts coming together. Things start making sense here, there, everywhere. And then the next thing you know, it's become just a part of your skill set. Here's the thing, if you're content with where you are right now, are you really growing? What can we do that's even more? It's like, what I have now is great, but I want more for myself because I deserve it. The reason I'm not content with where I am, why I'm never content with where I am, is that I know I can do better. I know my capabilities, and I know just how much I am capable of. So while this is all great, what I've got going on right now, it can be even better. That's why I'm doing all these videos. I'm doing it because I really want to reach out and help people that maybe were in a similar boat to that I was in. The rejected, the losers of life, the bullied, all the people that were told they couldn't. I want to tell them that they can. I started off just 2 years ago working in the call center, and now I'm a technical consultant. It's pretty crazy. I went, I took the intermediary step as a trainer. And so I'm having to learn a whole bunch of new stuff. As far as, the consulting role goes, having to pick up all sorts of new systems, having to do a lot of training all over that, picking up a totally new way of doing business, and then I'm going to have to go into these firms and really learn how they do their processes and how can we, make things better for them. So that's a lot of work also. And then also I just got done getting a car and going car shopping and doing all of that. And again, good stress, but stress all the same as you're trying to figure out all of that. And it's, all come together in this giant ball of change that has been happening here. And that's continually really happened through my life. And all I can do is embrace the change and keep rolling with it, because that's what's brought me to where I am right now.
Ain't afraid to face a madness. Run straight into the black.